Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. Well, we're coming here, and I did hear one thing. I did see somebody mention about the light in the background, and I will 100% agree with you, and I will try to deal with that, as I said a few times before. But it's really hard because, well, my light that is up there is busted, and it got fried. I haven't been able to fix it for a while now, so there's that. And two, that is the window. That is not necessarily the light. So the best I can do is try to cover it. But then it gets dark. I'll be testing some videos here and now. So after I do this one clip or whatever, I'll have it closed. And I'll make sure that... Give me your feedback if it's better or worse. Because it will be harder to see me because it gets darker in the room. But the only reason why I keep it open is because so you can actually see me easier. And it keeps the room lit. So that's the only reason why. But I will test some things, see if it's okay. There isn't that much I can do. I could probably get the light setup that I have in here, but it wouldn't do much. It's just a whole ordeal. But before I really get into this, so after that, sorry, I'll be going into this article here. So we have California cops release body cam footage of officers shooting kidnapping victim as she ran to them for help. This is very disturbing, and I am pro police to an extent, right? But I think that we need to start realizing on the problems that we have with the police in general, right? And I'll go over it in a little bit, but I'm going to read this so you guys can see. So it says, footage has been released of the moment California cops killed an unarmed kidnapping victim in 2022 as she ran to them for help. Savannah Gonziano, 15, was shot while making her way over to office after exiting the vehicle driven by her father, who had allegedly abducted her after killing her mother. Video of the September 27th incident obtained by reporters under the California Public Records Act shows the teen getting out of the car on the side of the road in Hesperia following a 70-mile chase with police before being shot dead. Passenger, get out! Passenger, get out! A deputy with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department can be heard shouting in audio from one of their belt recorders. Come here, come to me. Come, walk, walk, walk. He continues as she makes her way over the police cruiser, wearing, according to reports, tactical gear and a helmet. As she gets within meters, shots ring out. Hey, stop shooting her, etc., etc. The alleged kidnapper and murderer was eventually shot as well, and while his daughter died after being rushed to the local hospital, she was pronounced dead at the scene. According to ABC, an epicenter alert was issued for Graziano that day before her death, following reports that her father had abducted her after murdering his wife, her mother. So, this is a devastating and horrendous story, and I hate that this has happened. And here's the thing that I want for all this entirely. This girl didn't need to die. She was kidnapped, and then she was killed. Because we have police officers, which are terrible. And I'm going to let this know another thing too. This is due to the fact that when Los Angeles went to and defund the police, they went up and hired police that were worse for the job. That's just straight up fact, and that's just reality. However, I have an immense problem with the police that have been happening in the past couple of years that has been really making me angry. We've had people with the typical, what we have with the happened in New York, where the police arrested the homeowner rather than arresting the person that was squatting in her home. So we had that, and then we had the Texas Uvalde police, where they pretty much let all those kids die. So there's that. So and a few other instances where police have been more or less not on the public side, but on the criminal side, and this is what I have a huge problem with. And the another huge problem that I have is with this qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is a type of legal immunity that protects a government official from lawsuits alleging that the official violated a plaintiff's rights, only allowing suits where officials violated a clearly established statutory or constitutional right. And of course, we could go further into this. The doctrine of qualified immunity protects state and local officials, including law enforcement officers, from individual liability unless the official violated a clearly established constitutional right. The evolution of qualified immunity began in 1871 when Congress adopted 42 U.S.C. Now, obviously, this is something that should be abolished now, or at the very least, completely revamped to where police cannot be that can actually be punished. Because my problem is that we have so many police officers, and I understand that not all police officers are bad people or are incompetent people. But this is enough of a story to where a 15-year-old girl that was kidnapped was shot at because these police officers are completely insane. Okay? This is completely insane. First off, I don't know why they're constantly shooting at a vehicle when there is a kidnapped person in the actual vehicle. That's what's insane to me. I understand they want to be able to do it, but unless the person is, obviously being held at gunpoint or whatever, there needs to be other ways to be dealt with this. And I think every last one of these officers should be 100% fired without pay, without nothing, and then also be put in jail. Because, and many other types of things. Because here's the thing that I have. The qualified immunity, it makes them very, very hard or practically immune, as it means immunity, for them to be sued or fired, etc. And that needs to go. Now, I understand why it's there. The reason why qualified immunity would be there is because if they go and arrest somebody or what have you, they can people just go, claim that they violated somebody's rights or whatever and what have you, and that's why they have that qualified immunity. But my problem is that the qualified immunity is being abused to a point to where it's a huge issue. And I think Nick Rokeda had something to say on this. I can't exactly remember where it was about, but he said something about it, and I can understand the reasons why they haven't. But at this point, I want something completely revamped for qualified immunity because it needs to be done because these cops cannot be allowed to be on the service anymore. They killed an actual kidnapping victim. They kidnapped with somebody that they were ignoring orders from their police officer or from their lieutenant or general, what have you, and they shot somebody that was crawling on the ground. I do not understand when you see somebody that was crawling on the bloody ground that you shoot them. That is insanity to me. I always thought that you put your hands behind your back or whatever, and then when they're on the ground, they're not a threat. Well, you just shot somebody that was on the ground that was obviously not a threat. And this is what's making me incredibly angry. We gotta do something about the fact that these cops are getting away with stuff that they should not be getting away with because of qualified immunity. And I want something done about this. It's about time we start doing a bit more harsher times on the cops. Especially because the cops are the government. And since the cops are the government, we should treat them as such as the government. I understand that they're also just people as well, but again, we're seeing time and time again where cops are getting away with BS that should never, ever, ever happen. Should never, ever happen. I don't know the full story of what's going to happen to them. I'll try to keep it up to date like I have with the Kaylee Gaines one, but this is insanity, and these cops need to be reprimanded or put in jail. I'm sorry. You cannot be this grossly incompetent and have something happen. I just cannot stand it. So there's more stuff happening today, obviously with the Planet Fitness and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I will be keeping you up to date with the Planet Fitness stuff and other things as well because there's a lot of crazy other stuff happening. But yeah, this is insanity. This needs to be stopped immediately. Can't stand it. All right, guys. That's it for the video. Like, guys, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.